Eval. Eval. Okay, time for e5. Okay, we got a classical opening here. The Italian game, I'll play the two knights. The two knights defense. See what he does. Just defends. Okay, that's a reasonable choice. He is threatening to pin my knight. Could block the pin. I don't know. Yeah, I do have time. You have to worry about the knight coming in here, but this not only blocks the pin, it stops the knight from coming there. So this is all okay. And then I can put my bishop outside the pawn chain here like he did. Now let's see, can he kick my bishop? He isn't doing it yet. But it is a possibility. Let's go ahead and put this a5 pawn up there to, yeah. He maybe could have done that in the previous move. Could have gone here and then taken this pawn. So that means my bishop move was a mistake. Right after c3, I played bishop c5. Probably a mistake because, yeah, here to here wins a pawn, I think. Back to the game. He moved his knight there. Let's get castled. Let's, I could take that. Let's see if I take it.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
He would, if I take it, he would take back with the knight, I guess. I could retreat, and then the exchanges, and I take with the rook. Let's go ahead and take. Now let's put the rook here, extra defender in the center, opposite his king. I'm going to push the d-pawn soon. Okay, looks like he wants to castle queenside. Gave up the pawn. Well, we'll see how this plays out. He can just take this pawn. That's twice. That's twice I've hung the e-pawn here. That's pretty bad. So I play here. He takes. I take. He takes, I take, and the rook is defending the pawn. So I know we can check that out in the I'm taking this way to defend my pawn. In the postmortem, we can check it out and see if he had chances to win that pawn. So let's see, if I lift my pawn up here, it makes a pin of the knight. If I bring my queen out, then I lose the knight. Yeah, okay, let's do this. I think I can get out of the pin without too much trouble. Move my king, and then the knight is unpinned. If he drops his bishop back, he has no way to attack it with the pawn, so it did create, yeah, we created these weaknesses on the light squares here, huh? Okay, unpinning my knight. And check on this diagonal would be pretty dangerous, so I'm going to try and block that up soon. So he just wants to open things up a little. Yeah, let's move the knight first. He can give me an isolated pawn, I guess. Just trying to control this square where he could check. He can check there. So I can block it, but then he can... Then he could chase my knight. So let's not do that. Okay, so the bishop is going to go here and he's going to threaten mate, so I need to get a piece which defends there. So now I can take this pawn. The rook and queen are defending the rooks. Rook and queen attacking. So let's go ahead and take it now before he gets any more ideas here. So he wants to take that pawn. Yeah, let's threaten mate. See if he notices. Also keeping this defended, because rook takes, pawn takes, queen here, check. Look pretty dangerous too. The bishop and the queen actually takes away all the squares from my king, but I put the queen up here to defend along the second row there. And of course I'm threatening. Boom. Yeah, and he didn't do anything about it. Okay, I'll take the win. Oh no, he's got his bishop. Okay, well let's see if we've still got a win here. Threatening mate again. Yeah, my first game of the day. Maybe I'm a little sleepy. So, looks like he's going to go for a draw then. Unless he thinks he can find a way to check me and win material here. Yeah, looks like he's going to go for the draw. I don't think he has anything better, and I don't think I can escape the checks. Maybe I could have. We could check that out later. Yeah, let's do this now. Put it on the analysis board. So first of all, let's back up before the threefold repetition. And put in these funny... And then let's analyze this. It's point plus 0.5 plus 0.3. And then it's 0, 0, 0, 0. So yeah, it was even at least. It doesn't say the draw is forced, but it's an even position. Okay, so let's go back to the beginning. And then let's say the first time I made a mistake. Okay, so it says this is not a bad move. Go here, I drop back. He goes here. Go here. He takes. I castle. So this is good for black, it says. That's interesting. So I don't need to be so worried about that little tactic, I guess. Okay, let's say, I mean, obviously if he takes here, and he's giving up 2 pieces for the rook, and he'll have 2 pawns. Well, let's go ahead and, this is the computer's top variation. Let's go ahead and see what it has in mind here. But it still says black is fine here. And generally, yeah, I like having the extra pieces in the middle game. There's lots of stuff going on. And he should castle, and I should just move my king back. Okay, but what if he doesn't go down that path and tries to keep the material balance and just stay a pawn up? I castle. It's his turn. He doesn't have to take. What's his next choice after knight takes? His next choice is just to castle. It says this is good. And so I move my queen here to attack his knight. That makes sense. Goes here. Trade. Take the bishop. Yeah, this is interesting. I could push this pawn forward 2 squares, hitting his queen. And then just win a pawn this way. And this is even, but slightly good for black. But it says even better is just to play here. Keep his pawns restrained. I guess his extra pawn is not very impressive. I have the bishop pair. And looks like a good position for black. So that's an interesting thing to know. I'm always a little bit leery of this double pawn push trick. But here it does win a pawn, but it leaves black in a good position. So that's okay. And my the next time I gave him an opportunity to win a pawn was here. Here. Yeah, now he really can just take the pawn. It's not completely one-sided. It's, what, plus 0.6. But this is good for white. He should have taken it. And he has to retreat or defend the knight. Just defending it like this looks pretty good. And he's a pawn up. It's like half a point advantage for white, so black has some compensation, but not enough. So I could not play that knight e7 move. I should have just accepted I needed to defend here. And there's an even game. Actually slightly good for black, so I was doing okay. And then after I played this and he missed his opportunity, and d5 is okay. I mean, this is all in the range of about even. And yeah, it looks like it was a pretty good game. He's getting a slight edge here. My structure is a little weak, but we saw how I managed to turn it around there at the end. Let's see if we can get a rapid game. Okay, time for c4. Idarsky. Okay, just a normal move, I guess. I'll go ahead and get my pawn structure going. Knight out may have been a little more accurate because he could have played a d5 immediately, but I think this is all about the same. So I've got a symmetrical English at this point. Now that's weird. He's going to have to move his knight here. Okay, so I'm going to go for the Botvinnik setup. And so we're going to have a solid center here. Defending with the pawn first, because I don't want him to have some discovered attack against here. And I'm going to get castled. Looks like he's thinking of breaking down the center with d5. He didn't play it. Okay, he's just shoring up the queen side. He could castle queen side. He hasn't committed his dark squared bishop. Doesn't have too many good squares, actually. So this is where I have choices. Start with this move. Keep his knight out of this square and develop my bishop here. This is a pretty standard way of playing. Can put my king here if this pawn comes under fire. And he did castle kingside. Okay. So since he's castled kingside and he's put his pieces over here on the queen side, this looks like an opportunity to develop a kingside attack. So what I'm going to do is get my king up out of the way first, lift my queen, and then push the f-pawn. Kind of a slow plan, but look at how fast my opponent is moving. He has more time on the clock than when we started. I've used up about a minute for the first 10 moves. I mean, some of it is pretty routine, but I'm probably moving fast as well in response to his quick moves. Yep, let's get going on the king side. Okay, put his queen over here. I guess he's thinking of lining his queen up like this is sometimes an idea. Push, he takes. I take with the rook, and then I can double. Huh? He ignores me in a way. Let's see. He is threatening to push and fork my pieces, so let's take. Yeah, I have to take. Or move my bishop. Start with taking. And we will take again. So I've got an extra pawn now, although it's a doubled pawn, so it's not too impressive. Yeah, he can gang up and take it. Let's see, I can pin his knight. Or I could bring my knight here. I like the idea of bringing my knight up. Shores up the center. And yeah, I've got 3 defenders. He's got 3 attackers. My plan is to push the d-pawn forward. So yeah, let's do that now. Then I'm hitting his knight there. That is weird. I'll give him a second to see if he wants a take back. Apparently not. Maybe he can win this bishop. He's not really doing anything to try that, though. So let's defend my bishop then. Unpin it, I mean. Okay, the knight could go here. He takes, I take, he takes. Can't go there. Okay, the knight has to come back here then, I guess. Yeah, it's funny. He just gave that up without much effort. What is he doing here? Let's attack his knight. There's a loose bishop behind it. Okay, now he's stopped to think for the first time. His time has dropped under 10 minutes. Okay, so he is still hoping to give me trouble along this diagonal. So is there a simple way to break this up? I could take his bishop and then take the knight. And yeah, he resigned. It's just not going anywhere. We can look at this. +4 recommends knight c3. Yeah, I was just going to take it. This is, the knight is defending here. That's very important. And just leaves me a piece up. And let's see, what else could he try here? I wanted to show you the idea that I had, which was, say he saves his bishop. Then I was going to take here. Oh yeah, the computer likes it. And if he takes back with either the rook or the queen, I can take here, pinning that piece. He can pin the bishop, but I can still take. Or I could just unpin. And yeah, the queen's defended there. I just need to step aside. Knights defend each other. I'm 2 pieces up in this line. So that was my idea, was to sack the exchange here and then take the knight. Anyway, interesting game. I think that will do it for this session. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.